Welcome back to the channels. My name is Thomas Fletcher and I'm the host of both the LCSW Network and the Military Social Work Network. If you're new to these channels, please do me a favor by smashing that like button, by subscribing to the channel, and by sharing this video with your social work colleagues and friends. The purpose of both of these channels is to create a community of hope and support where social workers can come for relevant news, information, and inspiration. Well, welcome back. This is kind of a special show. This is not a self-care Saturday show. This is my usual apparel for the self-care Saturday show. It is Saturday though, and I am giving myself a lot of self-care by being out here on my bicycle. But today's show, I will be answering a viewer's question. A viewer named Velops is currently serving as a 13 Juliet. I had to look that up. That's a fire control specialist in the Army. So basically his scenario is that he would like to go from being a 13 Juliet to being a 73 Alpha, which is the AOC for social work in the U.S. Army. All right, and he will be using a GI Bill. He wants to get a bachelor's in psychology. So I am dedicating this video to Velops, and I will do my best to answer Velops' question. So there's a couple of ways, Velops, that you can go about pursuing your goal of becoming a 73 Alpha. One pathway that you could take is you could, and again, you would have to talk to the recruiter, but if you're not in the National Guard already, let's say you're active duty. You didn't state that in your question, but let's say you're active duty. One thing you could potentially do is you could transfer to the National Guard, maybe change your, well, you could actually stay as a 13 Juliet. But one pathway that you could take is if you're active duty, you could transfer to the National Guard. And that way, here's the rationale. That way you will continue to accrue time in service, which will ultimately help you with retirement. So that's one pathway that you could take. And so let me elaborate on that a little bit. So let's say you decide to go from active duty to National Guard. You could maintain your 13 Juliet MOS while you're going to school, because in the National Guard you serve 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks in the summer, typically. I mean, the last 2 years have been anything but typical because we've had COVID missions, we've had civil unrest, so the last 2 years haven't been the usual. But the usual National Guard lifestyle is you drill 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks in the summer usually. So that's one pathway that you could take, and that way you could go to school, you could get your bachelor's in psychology like you stated, and then you're still going to have to get your master's degree in social work, right? I'm sure you know that, you understand that, but I'm going to just state the obvious. So again, as I've stated in many videos before, when you are looking at an MSW program, you want to make sure that it is accredited by the Council on Social Work Education currently, and that they have not lost their accreditation. Because that matters, because when you graduate with your MSW and then you apply for jobs like the Department of Veterans Affairs, or let's say you finish your MSW, you get your hours of supervision, the 3,000 or 3,200, and then you take the ASWB clinical exam. You pass that. Now you have your LCSW, and you're going to apply to the military, whether it's the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, what have you. If your Master's of Social Work was not obtained at a school that is accredited by the CSWE, you will not be eligible to join the Army as a uniformed social worker. And likewise, on the civilian side, you will not be eligible to join any agency where social workers are employed. That's a basic requirement. Your MSW must be obtained from a CSWE, Council on Social Work Education accredited school of social work. Okay? So that's one pathway. The other pathway, you could just decide to get out. You could ETS, go to school, just concentrate fully on your school, get your bachelor's degree. Here's another little handy tip for you. If you've been in the military for more than a few years, and you didn't mention if you deployed, Velops, but let's say you deployed and now you have a service connection, disability or injury. You can use that service connection injury or disability later on when it's time to get your master's degree. And here's what I mean. Chapter 31, Vocational Rehabilitation. This is a program under the Veterans Benefits Administration. You could use that program to get your master's degree in social work, okay? Because the GI Bill will only cover a certain amount of years for training. Usually it'll cover a bachelor's degree, right? Or if you had a bachelor's degree, it may cover a master's degree or another advanced degree. But as you stated in the scenario that you provided to me, you will be pursuing your bachelor's degree in psychology. So that means you probably won't have enough money in the GI Bill for your master's degree. So I just wanted to put that out there. If you are already service connected, please talk to the Veterans Benefits Administration about Chapter 31 Voc Rehab. It's a program sponsored by the Veterans Benefits Administration where they provide funding, they provide computers, and they provide counseling support while you're in school. Okay? So that's my advice to you, Velops. Personally, if I were you, I would go the reservist or the National Guard route. That way you maintain your time in service. And that's going to matter to you when you get into, I don't know how old you are, but the longer you have time in service, the younger you will be able to eventually retire, if that's your goal. And it's retiring with 20 years is not the goal for everybody in the military. So I'm assuming that retirement from the military means something to you. If it doesn't mean anything to you, then you wouldn't have to serve in the National Guard or the reserves. You could just utilize your GI Bill, finish your bachelor's degree. If you are not service connected for a military related injury, then you will have to figure out another way of financing your master's degree. Okay? But again, if you've been serving in the military for any particular amount of time, especially if you've been on active duty and you are service connected, then please utilize Voc Rehab Chapter 31 for your master's degree. Okay? All right, well, I don't have anything else to add for you, but I'm going to stop there. I hope that was helpful to you, Velops. Please let me know. And I wish you all the best in your pursuit of your bachelor's in psychology. I did the same thing. I got a bachelor's in psychology, and then I got a master's in social work. And that bachelor's in psychology is something that I still utilize. The knowledge that I got from that program, from that degree, I still utilize it in my job as a mental health social worker. So I think it's a great pathway. So I wish you all the best, and feel free to reach out to me for further questions and comments. All right, so I'm going to stop there, but I want to thank you all for watching this video. For all the social workers out there, thank you for the work that you do every day, for your clients, for your agency, and for the profession. Please continue to support each other and yourselves. Bye for now.